هو الشهر دعيتم فيه إلى ضيافة الله. This is the month in which you have been invited to be his guest. Guest? We are always Allah's guest. We have been created by Allah. Allah is our creator, nourisher. He is the one who is giving us everything. Every single thing we have in this world is from Allah. But in this month especially, you have been invited to be his guest, special guest. So, which means you will receive special blessings beside the blessings that you receive in other days. وَجُعِلْتُمْ فِيهِ مِنْ أَهْلِ كَرَامَةِ اللَّهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made you among those people who receive a respect from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أهل كرامة الله. أنفاسكم فيه تسبيح. Look, so what he said, it's ours, our best hours. Now, after hours, what you mention? Minutes, right? He says no. أنفاسكم, every single breath in this month, when you're breathing, every single breath is tasbih. It's equal to what you say, subhanallah, invocation of his name, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you receive thawab for invoking his name in the month of Ramadan, without even using your tongue to remember Allah, your breathing becomes a worship. So every single breath is a worship of Allah, which means in Ramadan, not every day and not every night and not only every hour, but every single breath counts. So look how important this month is. Don't lose this opportunity which is coming to you. وَنَوْمُكُمْ فِيهِ عِبَادَةٌ. Look, when he said hours are very important, so you have to remain alert in order to seek the blessings of every single hour. You don't want to lose an hour, but of course you have so many things to do in your life. Even in Ramadan, you have to go to your job. Many people have schools, colleges, other work, office, and this and that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, still you can seek blessing of every single hour. But how about if I'm sleeping? Allah says, the Prophet says, وَنَوْمُكُمْ فِيهِ عِبَادَةٌ. Even if you sleep, your sleep becomes a worship. You're sleeping, you're worshipping. This is the blessed month. Why? You are guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look how important this month is. وَعَمَلُكُمْ فِيهِ مَقْبُولٌ. Whatever you do in this month, any good deed you do, is maqbool, is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other months, not necessarily if you do something good, Allah will accept it. Depends on your niyat and your intention, and so many more conditions. But you have more chances in this month to make your good deeds be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَدُعَاءُكُمْ فِيهِ مُسْتَجَابٌ. Your prayers, your dua, when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your supplications are accepted, are answered. وَدُعَاءُكُمْ فِيهِ مُسْتَجَابٌ. فَاسْأَلُوا اللَّهَ رَبُّكُمْ بِنِيَّاتٍ صَادِقَةٍ. Now when this great month is approaching, which has such qualities and great characteristics, what should we do? How should we be prepared? So the Prophet says, فَاسْأَلُوا اللَّهَ رَبَّكُمْ بِنِيَّاتٍ صَادِقَةٍ. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is in Sha'ban and the last days of Sha'ban before Ramadan. Prepare yourself. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What? بِنِيَّاتٍ صَادِقَةٍ, with true intentions. وَقُلُوبٍ طَاهِرَةٍ, and clean and pure hearts. أن يوفقكم لصيامه. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you tawfiq, give you opportunity and ability to perform the ibadat, the wajibat of this month, and especially siyam, fasting. Should not miss a day of fasting. Don't say, okay, I'm going to fast for 25 days. 5 days, I'm going to miss 5 days. I'm going to miss only 1 day. No. Don't miss a day. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you this strength and ability to observe all those fastings which are wajib on you in this month. So this is one thing. Another thing that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask Allah, because even if you do something good, it needs a help, somebody to help you in doing a good deed. And Allah is the best helper. Allah is the best supporter. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to support you. Now today you are here for prayers. Not everybody got this opportunity to come and offer the salat of juma. It is you. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped you in this. So in anything good you do, salawat. Anything good you do, there is the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in it. Without Allah's help, not everybody can do what he wants to do. Fas'alullah biniyat. Ask Allah what? Ask Allah to give you opportunity to fast. Another thing that you ask is watilawati kitabih. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the opportunity to read Allah's book in this month. Believe me, he is a loser who has no time for reading Quran in this month. Quran is the book of Allah. It was revealed in this month. There is hadith that for everything there is a spring. And the spring of Ramadan, a spring of Quran is Ramadan. So it is spring. When you read in this month, of course, you will get more thawab. What you will get, the Prophet is going to mention in this book, in this khutbah. فَإِنَّ الشَّقِيِّ. So ask Allah to give you opportunity for fasting and reading book of Allah, reading Quran every day. Finish one Quran at least. This is the least thing you can do. One Quran. Every day just one para. Takes half an hour. You don't have half an hour? In Ramadan, you have to plan your life, your 1 month. Your schedule should be well planned. Even you can change your job timings. You can ask your boss, or if you are the boss yourself, do it. So you should schedule the timing for Ramadan in such a way that you should not lose any jama'at salat. Don't lose any time for reading Quran. And of course, fasting is wajib. You cannot lose fasting. So take the blessing as much as you can in this month. فَإِنَّ الشَّقِيِّ. This is what the Prophet is saying after all this. He says, the unfortunate person is he. فَإِنَّ الشَّقِيِّ is unfortunate, shaqi. Unfortunate is he who man harama ghufranullah, who remains deprived of Allah's forgiveness and mercy even in such a month. Ramadan is coming, 30 days. And in these days, Ramadan passes away and he didn't get any blessing of Allah in such a month. in a month when the blessing reaching everybody, not just believers, Yohannas, even general people, everyone. Now, this is one part of the khutbah. Another part of the khutbah, now the Prophet is speaking about the benefits, more benefits of this month. وَاذْكُرُوا بِجُوعِكُمْ وَعَطَشِكُمْ فِيهِ جُوعَ يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ وَعَطَشِهِ. While fasting you feel thirsty, you feel hungry, so remember the thirst and hunger of the day of judgment, day of Qiyamah. And not only this, you should remember this is about Qiyamah, the day of judgment. For here, in this world, remember the suffering of those people who are hungry and thirsty in this world. There are so many people who don't receive enough food to survive. And you have not just enough food, excessive food. And sometimes, astaghfirullah, na'udhu billah, may God forbid, as somebody throws the food in the garbage. Is extravagance, is haram. And especially in Ramadan, you cannot do this. You can never do it. But in Ramadan, if you do good deed, you will get more thawab. If you do something haram and forbidden, you will get more gunah and more punishment for that. So he says that remember the hunger and thirst of those people. Now we understand why the Prophet said and why Quran said that the benefits of Ramadan reaches to everybody, even non-Muslims. If a non-Muslim is not fasting, it's fine, but I'm fasting. When I'm fasting, I can see a non-Muslim, my neighbor, anybody else, a human being is hungry. I don't care about his color and creed, but I see that he is a human being like me. He doesn't have food, I have food. But today I'm hungry, I feel hungry. I'm suffering from hunger for one day. He's suffering for hunger for many days. Maybe many people are dying of hunger. So think about them and tasaddaqu and give charity as much as you can in this month of Ramadan. Ala fuqara'ikum wa masakinikum, on those who are needy and those who don't have enough to survive. وَوَقِّرُوا كِبَارَكُمْ, respect your elders. This should be your akhlaq. Everything the Prophet is saying applies every time in our life. But Ramadan is a special month, so your akhlaq, your behavior, your manners should reflect true iman more than in other months. You have to focus more. وَقِّرُوا كِبَارَكُمْ, respect your elders. And of course, the parents more. وَارْحَمُوا صِغَارَكُمْ, have mercy and compassion towards your youngers. وَصِلُوا أَرْحَامَكُمْ, keep the relationship with your relatives strong. وَاحْفِظُوا أَلْسِنَتَكُمْ, protect your tongue. وَغُضُّوا عَمَّا لَا يَحِلُّ النَّظْرَ إِلَيْهِ أَبْصَارَكُمْ, protect your eyes from things which are forbidden to see. وَعَمَّا لَا يَحِلُّ الْإِسْتِمَاعِ إِلَيْهِ أَسْمَاعَكُمْ, and protect your hearing from things that are forbidden to hear and listen. وَتَحَنَّنُوا عَلَى أَيْتَامِ النَّاسِ يَتَحَنَّنَ عَلَى أَيْتَامِكُمْ, have mercy, pity and compassion and love to the orphans of other people. Nas, didn't say mu'minin only, other people. And in return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide protection, same protection for your children. وَتُوبُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ مِن ذُنُوبِكُمْ, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness for your sins. وَارْفَعُوا إِلَيْهِ أَيْدِيكُمْ بِالدُّعَاءِ فِي أَوْقَاتِ الصَّلَاةِ, raise your hands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ask Him your hajat, your wishes. So raise your hands for supplications, especially in the time of salat. Once you finish your salat, raise your hand. Don't quickly just finish salat and stand up for seconds, for minutes. Just raise your hand, communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just ask Him what you need from Him, although He gives you without asking. فَإِنَّهَا أَفْضَلُ السَّاعَاتِ, because it is the best time when you can ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ينظر إليه ينظر الله عز وجل فيه بالرحمة إلى عباده. It is the time after salat when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks with mercy towards to his servants. يجيبكم إذا ناجوه يجيبهم إذا ناجوه ويلبيهم إذا نادوا. Whenever they ask Him, to talk to Him, He answers their call. He accepts their يستجيب لهم دعوتهم, and He accepts their dua. The time is almost over. Inshallah, we'll continue this next time, and we'll read this khutbah, as long khutbah and beautiful khutbah. And whenever we read this khutbah, it reminds us the importance of Ramadan and what we can do in Ramadan, and especially, as the Prophet said, Quran. So start Quran on first day of Ramadan. Don't lose it, because you say, okay, I will start it next week, so you lost 7 days. Every day one para. If for some reason you couldn't make it, do it next day, make it up next day. If you didn't do it next day, do it. So finish Quran in Ramadan. This is the last thing you should do as a good deed. And also, as the Prophet said, remember your poor people and help them and give the charity as much as you can. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us more opportunity and tawfiq and ability and strength to perform all wajibat in this blessed month, and to perform all mustahabbat in this grace month, and to refrain from haram and makruhat in this month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His mercy and His grace on all of us and all people in the world, all people who are oppressed especially. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue His blessings on us. And may Allah hasten in the reappearance of Imam Zaman, Ajal Allah Farajahu Sharif, and count us among his supporters, insha'Allah, and his companions. إن أحسن الحديث وأبلغ الموعظة كتاب الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. ألا قد أمركم الله في محكم كتابه بالصلاة على نبيه وحبيبه، فقال تعليما لكم وتشريفا لصفيه: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم وصل على أمير المؤمنين مولانا علي بن أبي طالب. وعلى سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة بنت رسول الله. وعلى الحسن المجتبى والحسين الشهيد بكربلاء وعلي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي العسكري. اللهم صل على مولانا صاحب الزمان. ماحي آثار البدع والطغيان، هادم أبنية الشرك والنفاق، حاصد فروع الغي والشقاق. اللهم عجل فرجه وسهل مخرجه واكحل ناظرنا بنظرة منا إليه، واجعلنا ممن يذكر فتنفعه الذكرى. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن